Welcome, Sagittarius. This is Regina from PacificTarot. This is a full moon in Pisces reading, which is occurring on the 17th or 18th, depending on where you are in the world. This is a general reading, so it will not resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, please look in the description box below for a list of the readings that I offer and instructions on how to find that. And I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful for your presence. Really necessary for me to do what I do and appreciate all the support that I get from you. So let's get started, Sagittarius, with your overall energy, the Page of Wands. This is a lovely card of exuberance, energy, and excitement. No matter where you are on your path, and this is a sort of interesting, complicated time as Pluto has dipped back into the last few minutes of Capricorn and is providing us with more of a last chance review of some of the phenomenal changes we've made in our lives over the past 15, 17, or more years, depending on your particular chart. This is significant for everyone on the planet, particularly for those of you who have had planet Pluto contacts over the last 3 decades or more. So remember, before Pluto was in Capricorn, it was in Sagittarius. So this is a reminder that you have been through an extended period of, for some of you, appearing almost in an oppositional way to the energy that you are. Sort of more serious, less optimistic, less more internally processed. And this Page of Wands, I believe, is pointing you back in the direction of your natural optimism, your ability to encourage and inspire others, your great fount of wisdom and patience with the requests of others. So here you are again, teaching by modeling that behavior for others. And in the 10th house, your social identity, we have the Hermit. And the Hermit here in your professional, public, community life is showing up as an emblem of the process you have internalized throughout, for some of you, more than a couple of decades, depending on aspects in your personal chart. This is you really spending more time on your own. In some ways, this is an aspect of Sagittarius that we don't often celebrate in our very public, glamorous, superficial culture, but this is a bit of the sage, as in the monk, the scholar who goes away and to the ivory tower and studies and learns in a way that seems almost independent. This aspect is as much about you grounding in your own authority, and this may have been a feature of the last transit of Pluto that we are now wrapping up. So you're really maximizing whatever lessons you've learned over that time and applying it to your communal life, your public life, your professional life in some way where you're standing on your own authority and wisdom in moving forward. In the first house, your perspective is that of the Empress. How absolutely incredibly beautiful. This is describing the aspect of your practice in whatever you do. This is you constantly generating new ideas, constantly generating new abundance through that process. You're understanding how to maximize natural rhythms and flows, how to stay in tune with those you work with as a supporter, as an encourager, as modeling positive behaviors, and a phenomenal work ethic that not only is capable of knowing how to work appropriately, but how to enjoy the rewards of that effort so that you enjoy the whole process of work, not simply the rewards that you are able to maximize at the end. And in that way, this is describing you learning how to make more space in your life for love, for the enjoyment of what you do, not just for the working, but the recognition that you give a lot to others and allowing yourself to receive that back from others. This is an empowerment move for you. In the fourth house, the house of your soul, your family, your foundation, the Page of Swords. I love the pages here. The Page of Swords is actually putting a big question mark to your home environment, your domestic environment. This can be your family. This can be your family of origin. There are a lot of questions that I'm intuiting here in your life around what moves to make next. Your family may have changed a lot over this extended period of time, naturally. And I'm talking here again about the transit of Pluto. Your family may have matured, it may have thinned out. You're really wondering if where you are is the best place for you. You're wondering who among your loved ones or your uh, home partners or relationships are really supporting of you, that even understand what your needs are. And this is, again, part of so much change that has occurred, so much change in your perspective. You are almost not the same person. And you even recognize and have become more upfront about the fact that you're not in alignment with all of the things that once were a tacit agreement among you and your family members, you and your loved ones, you and your home environment, that you just simply don't know what's best here. So I love that this is an area where you're claiming not to know at this time, but you are taking notes, you're observing. This is a question for you, and this is one you're determined to solve and then act upon. In the seventh house of your significant relationships, we have the Lovers. It's interesting that you're showing me you're not sure what your home life, what your root, your foundation is doing for you, if it's the best place for you, because you're showing me that in all things, in all relationships, be that a person, a group of people, or a goal or environment, you are choosing what's best for you in the long term. And this apparently has changed as a result of your changes, things that you felt you took for granted even. You did not question. You did not question your location, perhaps your occupation, your partnership. You now are understanding that you can connect more consciously, more deeply with someone who is aligned with your vision, with someone who wants to build something long term with you, someone who wants to go the distance. And I have a sense that this is something you've never allowed yourself to say out loud, even to yourself. As so many Sages are considered the eternal bachelors, you have perhaps never been afraid to articulate a desire for a long-term commitment or a commitment of any kind, feeling that that would limit others or limit you. And now your perspective on that has changed entirely. You're now recognizing that you want to be a part of something that is long-term, something that will last, something that allows you the tools to build with someone. And this is really part of your choosing who you are now in a way that is surprising you. It's surprising your loved ones. It's surprising people who've known you for a while. I'm going to pull a Soul's Journey card and hope that if this reading is resonating for you, Sag, that you will like this video, share it with others who may enjoy it. I always love reading your thoughts, so I enjoy your comments, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. It's very important to me. I love doing this and I'd like to keep doing it. So I need your help for that. And I pulled the gratitude card. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. I think that this is interesting given the amount of change that you have undergone over probably the last couple of decades in the very least. You are coming into a sense of appreciation for who you truly are. The Sagittarius has such a positive, social, happy, outgoing vibe that I do believe others assume you're lucky, you're gifted, you're blessed, you're fortunate in many ways that you actually may not be. And you've come through a long journey in which you've actually grappled with those behaviors that have kept you from growing as an individual, growing through a partnership, committing to a practice, a consistent practice, or a consistent commitment, so that you are now grateful for what you've learned about yourself. And through the difficulties, through the just staying, working with what you know to be true of those uncomfortable behaviors, you've liberated yourself to a great degree and are experiencing the world very differently. The Empress in the first house is clarified by the World card. And I really love this because this beautiful sense of empowerment that is all-sided. This is about giving love and receiving it, and living in that glow. The World describes your completion of a journey of self authentication, where you have come to accept your giftedness, your power, your work ethic, your sense of being in sync with the natural flow, being a product of the natural world, being aligned with all sentient beings. This is powerful for you. My sense is that this is a part of your creative gift. This is a part of your foundation. So you are closing out a journey that you're now at the very end of, in preparation for a new life, a new rodeo. And this is, again, about the sense of understanding and appreciating your role, your part in the world completely. In the fourth house, the Page of Swords is clarified by the Ace of Wands. So the sense of not knowing is really backed up by your ability to put this feeling of enthusiasm, excitement, joy, inspiration into action. The Ace of Wands is you going for this new growth, developing this new lifestyle, going after and expressing a new aspect of yourself without concern about the feedback or the resistance you get, understanding at a certain level that that is part of the journey, that it isn't about being liked by everyone. It isn't about being safe. It's about putting yourself out there and receiving the feedback you get back and working with that, working with what you can use and discarding what you can't. It's less about going around on the merry-go-round or navigating emotional roller coaster when you decide you want something. And there's something here about your fear of ever saying what you wanted in the past. For fear that if you say you want it, that that's the best way to be rejected or for it to be taken from you. Your sense now is completely different because this starts with you. This is part of your internal expression. And so this idea that you're taking a stand, making a stand, and that you are going after something that is significant to you, that means something to you. The Lover's card in the seventh house of your social relationships is clarified by the Sun. This is stunning. The choosing of yourself in all aspects of your life, but particularly when it has to do with your relationships, is what is giving you happiness, what is giving you joy. This ability to seek commitment is actually liberating you to be who you are. You can't build something, you can't bring joy, you can't work at, you can't be loyal to uh, in an absence of a partner or a goal uh, on your path. And at this point, this sense of, yes, I'm committed to my happiness and to all things that support that. And this sense of a commitment for the long term, this isn't going to change. What makes me happy may change, but the pursuit of my happiness will not. The pursuit of who I am will not change. And as a result of that, I'm committed to that and I can stand in that commitment. That liberates me to begin to enjoy my work, my life, my energy. So this is absolutely beautiful. It's easy, because this is you saying, I know what makes me happy, and this is what it is. Being who I am is what makes me happy. This is quite stunning, Sagittarius, I have to say. The Hermit card in the 10th house, which is your assertion of your own authentic authority, your right to be who you are, that has been so sorely tested over the last few decades, is being clarified by Temperance. This is no surprise. You have been through hell and high water. And by staking your claim on who you truly are, doing what was necessary to assert that, if that meant moving away from what was familiar, what was comfortable, all of your friends, all of your co-partiers, all your good time chums, has been difficult because you could have stayed in that energy forever, lifting up everybody, cheering everyone on, and leaving empty-handed. Instead, you have really worked on that dynamic of processing all the things that were uncomfortable about who you are, the superficiality of the optimism, the toxicity of the cheerleading, um, when it wasn't reciprocal, when it's something you do for others, but you would never do for yourself. And in fact, ensuring that others wouldn't do it for you because their assumption was you didn't care, you didn't want it, you weren't committed to your own success or happiness. It wasn't something you ever claimed. And working through that, working through the disappointment, the failures, as a result in many ways of your own inability or unwillingness to claim what it is that you wanted, to commit to your own success, your own happiness, whatever that means for you, has been a very long and painful process. I'm going to finish up this reading with flora and fauna of Africa. And I pulled the giant snail. And it may feel like that for many Sagittarians, this process of self-development and evolution. And the key word is momentum. I like that. Move along your own path at your own pace. Use your time wisely, and you will accomplish your goals with divine timing. I'm sure this is heartening to many of you who have felt bogged down for quite some time. And the sense of not recognizing yourself, not knowing the person that you had become in your effort to overturn the unhappiness in your life, to find a way to identify the things that you deeply wanted and were so afraid to ask for, is really making way to the strong momentum that you are now gaining as a result of claiming who you are, claiming your desire, committing to that. Thank you so much, Sagittarius, for this beautiful reading. Until next time, namaste.